Welcome everyone. In this chapter, we are going to see how to manage users in Linux. A users in Linux is basically an entity with some privileges to access the system resources, and they can manipulate the files and perform several other operations. Each user has a unique ID associated with it and also known as UID in short. Let's see the concept of Linux user account. A Linux user have to create account in the system, and this is created to keep track and monitor the system utilization. Each user account contains two things. The first is username, which is basically used to access the user account and can be changed at any time. It should be unique for every user. UID, it is used to authenticate, track and monitor users activity, and the system uses this UID. Let's know about the user name. There's a command called whoami which basically shows the system current user name. The ID command shows the user ID, group ID and the list of groups belonging to the user. You can also use -u with ID to just get the user ID, and use -n along with -u to get the username. Let's check this command. You can see I'm in day 5, and here who am I? You can see I am Dhanu Sir, and if I do ID, here you can see I have UID, GUID basically group ID, the number of groups I am associated with. And if I do ID U, it just give my UID, and ID U and -n, it just give me only name. Let's proceed to the next concept. Types of user. The first is super user or root user. It is basically the administrator of the Linux system who has full rights to the system, and it has the highest privilege in the system. The root account belongs to the super user, and it can't be deleted, but it can be disabled. The normal user. These are those users which are created by root. They can do tasks, they have the privileges too, and can access only files and services for which they have been authorized. The root user can delete and disable it. Let's proceed with creating the user. There are many different ways to create user. The first command to create user is user add, and the another command is add user. The add user command is more interactive than user add. Let's create using the user add command. So here I am, and let me do Linux dev 1, and okay, let me use sudo, and here you can see I'm just asked password, and okay, so I created the Linux user and ID of Linux dev I can see. Okay, so basically UID 1001 and sudo add user Linux dev 2, and here you can see the more interactive way. Okay, and it is also asking the password, so let me use the same. Okay, because it contains the same username, let me do something else. Okay, oh yeah, basically I need to set the password again. Okay, so you can see, and it just asking full name. Let me do this way. Okay, I'm just entering it, and yes, and now if I do Linux dev 2, you can see it has the UID 1002, and there is something called as passwd, which is to set the user password which are created by user add. Remember, during the user add, I was not asked for the password. Okay, so let's change the password for Linux Dev 1. And okay, and now I am setting the password. Okay, so following are some of the operations performed during the account creation. The user details are automatically appended to the respected configuration files. The home directory is assigned to the newly created user. So here, if you see, if I check Linux Dev, okay, I can have, or you can see inside my slash home I have Linux Dev 2. And then there are three hidden files: dot bash underscore logout, dot bash underscore profile, and then dot bash rc, which are copied to the home directory. Let's see that. So ls, since these are hidden files, so let me basically open like this. I need to add sudo. You can see these three files are added to the home directory, and then permission and ownership for the home directory, and the group is same as the user account created. Now let's explore this etc passwd file. This file basically stores the user's information in the Linux system, and this file contains the record as per the system user account and has following format. So let's directly jump to the file at ptc and then passwd, and here you can see those two users which I have created are at the bottom of the file, and which has basically the username. The password is basically x, which is not shown here, and then user id, then group id, okay, and then some command which is not there, and then home directory of the user and the default shell. So in the etc passwd, the password of the user was not shown. Then there is another file etc shadow, which basically stores the password in the encrypted format. When users logs in, then these files are used by the operating system to verify their authentication. Now let's directly jump to this file, copy paste, and here you can see Linux Dev 1 and then password in encrypted format, and then Linux Dev 2. Now let's see how to delete a user. To delete a user account, we can use userdel command. Let's try to run this command. So we have Linux Dev 1, and so basically it's a admin operation. So we can only access it through sudo, and you can see my user has been deleted. Now to check this user is present or not, I can check the user detail in the passwd. You can see the details are not present. That's all about the user management related commands. Thanks for watching. In the next chapter, we are going to see how to manage groups. See you in the next chapter.